Well, good afternoon once again, viewers, and welcome to Catholic Broadcasting Ministry, Capuchin Television, and to this program called Taking Care of Your Psycho-Spiritual Well-Being. My name is Joseph Pius Hegmunjobi, Reverend Father, and I'm welcoming you once again to this program, which we run on every Thursday from 2:30 to 3 p.m. Sorry, we're a little bit late today. Kindly bear with us. Today we'll be looking at another very interesting topic, and that is the communication in families. And of course, we know that when a family actually come together, they are really well bonded. It's because they have a healthy communication, whether it's between the husband and the wife, or between the parents and the children, or children to children. And today I have with me three experts who will be discussing with us on this issue of communications in family. Of course, when you look at them, you may be like, they are not husband and wife. These are religious sisters. But trust me, they know what they are talking about because they have dealt with a lot of issues in families. So with me today are Sister Anne Lucy Achien, and I will introduce her more than that briefly. And of course, beside her is Sister Dr. Anne Lucy, sorry. And of course, the Sister Dr. Ngozi Okpalanwe and the Sister Dr. You see, they are Dr. Mary. They will be with us today to actually discuss this issue, to know how we actually can even enhance our communication if it's already broken down, or if it has not been broken, how to sustain it. So Sister Anne Lucy is from the Marian congregation. She's a lecturer at the Catholic University of West Eastern Africa, Gaba campus. Welcome, sister.
Thank you very much.
Oh, welcome, doctor.
Thank you very much, doctor.
And then, of course, beside her is where you well know her. She's been on this program severally. That's the Sister Dr. Elizabeth Ngozi Okpalanwe. She's the Sister of the Holy Rosary, Holy Rosary Sister, either one, and a lecturer at the Psycho-Spiritual Institute, Maris International University College, also at the Tangaza University College. Welcome, sister.
Thank you, Father. I'm happy to be here.
Good. And then we have also Sister Dr. Mary Erikin, who is also the Sister of the Holy Rosary. She just came back to Kenya, I guess?
Yes.
Good. So you are welcome. Karibu, Kenya. And then we have these three beautiful, knowledgeable Reverend sisters who will be talking to us about communications in the family. Again, my name is Joyce. You know me already. So when we talk about communication in family, what do you want our viewers to first understand about that? Any of you can start.
Okay. Let me begin by saying that communication involves verbal and non-verbal interaction within the family, between husband and wife and children. So there are a lot of communication that goes on in the family. Some are verbal, some are non-verbal. And we are going to be talking more on that today.
Okay, just to add on that, is that within the family, what we are basically going to talk about is that the day-to-day interaction of family members within a particular house, within a particular home, and how they do the activities together as they interact, as they meet each other, as they live together in the house, and as they carry out their daily duties within the house. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Just to clear our heads again, as if we don't know the meaning of communication, it is good to just clarify that again, that communication is that art of sending message from one person or place to another so as to create understanding. Okay. And that understanding goes a long way to create a feedback in the receiver. So there is rapport kind of negative or positive, depending on the communication, the content of the communication, and then maybe the means of communication.
Thank you, Dr. And when as you are talking, I'm looking, of course, Sister Dr. Ngozi started with the verbal and non-verbal, and we're all building on that. And of course, I think we have, there's an aspect we don't talk about, I call it techno-communication, which we actually, of course, may go through verbal or non-verbal. The both of them can appear, especially when we are dealing with the telecommunication this day. And I think that's another area that probably we need to look more into, because they actually can bond the family and they can, take them apart. So, yeah, what are the kind of communication? Of course, we know, talk about the verbal and non-verbal. What is in your own, of course, we all grew up in a family too, and that's why we are also very, very important in this situation. What are the dynamics of communication that we can really find in family today?
The dynamics of communication today, you mentioned technical and technological. Somebody told me about jet age. And what other page? She said all the ages. So in the family dynamics, there is the father, the mother, the children, and they need to be sharing and passing information to one another so that there will be one unity in that family. Therefore, there is need for them to be able to pass on information verbally, saying the words, or by signs and symbol, body language, or other means, using maybe something to show. And if that is done well, there'll be peace. But what we are, from experience, we find that this act of communication, sending information, passing message, sharing, must begin early in the family. Just as a child is born, first of all, begin between husband and wife. They have to be able to share with one another, talk to one another. Yes, I love you, I love you. The nitty-gritty comes when they are really ready to put it into practice. And from there now, they can spread and share to their children. I think I will stop there, let somebody else speak up.
Okay. The dynamics. What do we observe today? What do we see happening? Yeah, what are the patterns? Yes,
just to add to that, in some families, they are very, very optimistic. They are very positive. They are free. They can share even with their children and everybody involved in the family. But where you have a family where that is very autocratic, where only the father and the mother are the one who gives information, it becomes a challenge. What that you're saying might be a challenge. Then you have a family also that is laissez-faire. Nobody cares. People do what they like, they go where they want and come back when they want. And you see the communication in such a family is very challenging because everybody is on his or her own and all that. So it depends on the type of family. But above all, communication is very, very important. If you don't communicate positively, there will be always that chaos and confusion.
Clearly, you are trying to say, because even though you did not nail it that way, I'm hearing that the parenting style, the parenting style of a particular family can also influence the communication pattern. Okay, all right.
Just to add on that again, today the family dynamics has really changed. We are living in a world of technology, and people communicate. And you find in a family, everybody has on his own gadget. The young people in the house will have their own gadgets. So when in the sitting room, maybe they would be watching, or others are on WhatsApp, others are on Twitter, others are. So you find that pattern of communication kind of breaks as a result of so many gadgets that we have. But the dynamics today, what is there is that our families require that free environment where ideas can be shared. Because the young people in the house would also like to be listened to hear what the parents have for them. The parents would also like to hear what the children have for them. So they create an environment where ideas can be tabled and shared. Then we have what we call a utopic family, where people listen to each other and everybody is willing to come and share with the family members whatever is going on within the family. So if that goes on, then we can have very good communication within the family, and that family is able to grow together. Rather than having a scattered kind of family where everybody is doing their own things. They are either on WhatsApp, they are either fighting over the remote or something like that. Yes.
Yeah, I want to pick up something, because as I was listening to you, you started from wanting to continue with techno issue, then you move away a little bit to another thing that is very important. Maybe in my mind, I really want to clear. Maybe viewers too want to clear that. The communication has a different dimension. There's a couple communication, or how they communicate between husband and wife. There's also the what we call father-children or mother-children kind of communication. Are these, the way I'm understanding when you were talking, are they supposed to be the same in the flow? Because you have the couple, of course, there's a way they're going to, I love you were talking about the other time. There is another dynamics between because I can tell, okay, so when that is there, also you now look at between the parents and the children. Exactly. That's another dynamics. So I want to, if you can elaborate a little bit before we go on break.
So we have what we call parent to parent, where the two parents communicate on quite a lot of issues that pertain to the family. And then we have the top-down communication and the bottom-up communication. Messages come from the children to the parents, and messages come from the parents to the children. We have the instructional aspect of communication, where now it is top-down. And then we have also where requests are made from children to parents, that is the bottom up. So we have what we call the horizontal level in communication, where the parents are communicating with each other. There are a lot of family issues they can plan together, budget together, do a lot of family activities together, planning for their children. So in the course of that planning, they'll be having that kind of communication in order to plan for what happens with the children, and the children too, the same. So there are two dynamics there. We have the parent-to-parent communication, and then children-parent communication, and then lastly we have the children communication. Yes.
Okay, I think that's clear enough. So actually, when we come back, we want us to be very practical. Because these are doctors here and they are talking doctors. So we want to come low to actually look at what happens in the family itself. That how should they pass information, even within themselves, in such a way that the children are not being affected, or the children also are learning positive vibes in the family. So when we come back from break, we'll look at that. Stay tuned.
Amri za Mungu. Ndimi Bwana Mungu wako. Usiabudu miungu wengine. Usilitaje bure jina la Mungu wako. Shika kitakatifu siku ya Mungu. Waheshimu baba na mama, upate miaka mingi na heri duniani. Usiue. Usizini. Usiibe. Usiseme uongo. Usitamani mwanamke asiye mke wako. Usitamani mali ya mtu mwingine. Amri za Mungu.
Kupata
Amri za Mungu.
kama sikiza tune yako, bonyeza neno sikiza likifuatwa na nambari 738-10251.
Karibuni viewers, and once again, this is Catholic Broadcasting Ministry Capuchin Television, and this program taking care of your psycho-spiritual well-being. My name once again is Joseph Segunjobi, Reverend Father, and with me are the doctors, powerful doctors here, Dr. Ann Lucy, Dr. Elizabeth Ngozi, and Sister Mary, Dr. Mary, or they are sisters though anyway, so we can call them sisters too. And they've been enlightening us on the family and the communication in family. And like I said, when we are, as we are back now, we want to go more practical to look at actually what happens. And actually, I'm wondering, in a situation where the father of the house or the mother, doesn't really matter which of them, and probably whether there are visitors in their homes or the children are actually there and they have to correct each other. What do you say to that?
Okay, I begin by explaining that in some families where there is respect, the parents talk when the children are not there. Especially when they have issues. They go inside the room, talk their problem, and they don't allow children to come in. But we are in a situation where the parents are not at peace. They yell at each other, they shout at one another, so the children got to hear it and they even come in to try to separate them. You know, that kind of a scenario. It makes the children not to even think of getting married, because many will not like to see that kind of behavior, yelling and shouting at each other. In some families where they understand that the children should not supposed to be part of their own issue, they handle it separately.
I always tell people there's a difference between marriage and family. Yeah. Marriage is exclusively, I don't know whether I'm right, you can correct me, doctors. The marriage is exclusively between the man and the woman. Yes. And their marriage issue is their marriage issue. It should not be transferred to the children, you know? Okay, yeah. Our sister.
Just to add on that, you talked about visitors are present and then the children are there, and then you the two happen to kind of have a conflict. I would say that the best way to handle such situation is avoiding yelling in front of the visitors, because it brings some kind of embarrassment even to the family. But I would rather that they can say, Mama so-and-so, come, we talk a little. They can go to the bedroom or somewhere out, and you see this and this and this you have done, and let us not embarrass ourselves. They can slowly or talk about it in private, then they come and join it, others smiling. Not to show that there was actually something, but they correct it at the side and then come now to the visitors when things have been sorted and they are smiling and the celebration continues. It's not very easy, but I've seen some who actually just smile as if nothing has happened. Even if they were quarreling before, but when visitors come, they are like very happy and nothing is going on, but then they sort their issues amicably, privately.
I can relate with that, because in my family, actually, I've never, and I don't think any of my siblings have ever seen my parents exchanging words. And we do ask them if they fight at all. and they say we fight. They don't deny the fact that they fight. They say we fight, but they fight in their room.
In their room, yes.
Even when you are angry, you delay the anger. You just everything is fine. When every other person is going to say, come over here. Yes, sister. Yes.
And I want to add to that. I was going to make a plea to couples to please try to cultivate the attitude of patience and be large, have large-heartedness so that they can accommodate and bear until they have that opportunity to go to the room, wherever they go, that are in private. Sometimes I tell couples, you know, this thing that is firing you, don't talk about it now when you have gone to bed, you slept the first 2 hours. You that it is burning, you wake your husband or wife, whichever is the case, and say, I have a big problem that is bothering me, and you are the one that can help me. You see, the method of approach or presentation creates the atmosphere for it. So then you talk about, I don't think that man will jump. The other thing I want to add to it is that for communication, whether it is between husband and wife, whether it is between parents and their children, among children, listening. Without listening,
Men
not just
don't listen. Men
yes.
don't listen.
Well, I didn't say that,
Some
but you are
men
saying that some men listen.
Some men.
Listen, and you listen to hear. Listen with the person. I have heard you, and you heard nothing. And that creates, because this one says, you never listen to me. Because by the time you come out, you find that you could have heard, okay, let us say there are 10 points, 7 out of the 10 points. That other 3 are very important. So listening is a basic thing. And it's that kind of quiet atmosphere that they're able to pick, you see, I've been making noise, but this is the issue. And then they can work on it. So,
actually, what Sister Doctor said is very true. And another dimension is that when they don't listen and they have a problem, they can share. The communication gap will begin to widen. And what men do, some men, they go out to start drinking, smoking, thinking that it will solve that problem. It will not sort it. They have to really sit down and do it. I know one man who lost his job. He was afraid to tell the family because the woman was nagging, the children want everything, and the man has lost his job. So in the morning, he gets up and leaves the house. They thought that he has gone for work. But he went out looking for jobs, struggling to find a job to cover that gap instead of talking about it. And then the children started abusing him. He's a useless man and all that, and the wife joined. So when she came, I told him, no, there's a lack of communication here. Say, communicate. Tell your family what you are going through. He said, no, he will lose his credibility as a father, his respect. The children will not respect him. I told him, no. When you communicate, they know where you are. They can even help you to find a job. So I said, now organize a meeting when you reach home. Involve your wife and the children. I said, just try it. So he went and called them and told them he has lost because they have a retrenchment in their department, and he was involved. So he told them, I'm looking for a job. And then one of the sons said, Father, we didn't know. Our principal has been looking for a gate man. Can I tell him so that he will be doing that while looking for a job? See, the child helped him to get a job because he communicated. And they stopped insulting him because they know that he's making effort to get that job. But when there was no communication, nothing, yeah.
Thank you very much for that. Before we go, another thing I want us to look at is this issue. What for telephone is concerned. We can't live here without talking about that. When you find the husband like this on the bed, the wife is like this on the same bed, and this one is laughing to the telephone, that one is laughing at the telephone, and they are not communicating with each other. What do we say? Or maybe we have noticed that, or maybe, I don't know, in your professional work.
Okay, what I wanted to say is that, sorry, Dr. Ari, what I wanted to say is that many times the phone breaks that communication. It causes what we call communication breakdown in families. When everybody is engaged in social media, they are busy communicating with people outside, but not with people in the house. So it completely blocks that kind of relationship that is in the house. Communication breakdown through social media can break relationships within the house, because people will not understand each other anymore. The only way of communication is with people out, because if I'm on social media, I'm not communicating with my siblings, or my fellow siblings, or my parents, or whatever, but I'm busy communicating with friends out there. And if that goes on day in, day out, people lose touch with each other in the family. And so that can create some kind of friction. Okay. And you'll find children in this house engaging in funny activities like drug taking and all that. Yeah, thank you.
Sister?
Well, to add to that, they all have lots of information on this phone technology thing.
It's very good. We Google.
I'm going to go towards the side of maybe admonition or contribution to what helps. If the family sit together, we're talking about families sitting together and sharing together, planning together, even making their budgets together. They should if possible, they create an atmosphere when people come. You say, "Oh, this thing I found on my phone today on the media." Share it with the family, so that when there is good or bad, they put it together and they share. Then they know. From there, they move out. At least there is time within their family staying together that they share something together before they now disband. Because there's no way they will all have the same thing. Because they are different classes, different trends, different level. But that one or two times that they bring something like meal time, or after food, they sit together for a while. And what did you hear today? And they say, "Oh, look I saw this thing. Did you ever hear? They are announcing this. They are looking for this." They share together. "Oh, I had this difficulty in the school. See what my classmates shared. Father, how am I going to manage it? Or Mommy, have you ever experienced this?" They'll share. So it will help. Otherwise, this our technology thing, it has a lot of, yes.
It's interesting that at times people concentrate on those things and they are not human anymore. A man was watching television and the wife keeps saying, "Can we do this?" He said, "Yes, go ahead." He was not hearing. And then the woman said, "Can we put the baby on fire?" He said, "Just do that." He was not listening. He was not hearing.
So I think from what we are saying, there have been 3 or 4 things I can pick out that they are really standing out. I want to start from the issue of respect. Because if you don't respect each other, you can't really flow appropriately, and that's why lack of our respect can also go into not listening, because you think you know better than the other person and you are not even respecting the view of your child. Your child can tell you something that can change your whole world. But when you don't respect that child, you tend to bring that down. I'm also hearing that also in communication, we should say, of course, we did mention that of course, settle your things together. There will be occasions of misunderstanding, but we don't have to blow it up before everybody. You can call your wife in, or call you and talk to your brother, because it can also happen between children. You can call your brother. "No, what you said yesterday hurt me. I feel hurt because of what you said." And that one may not even know he has even done anything. When was that? But when you don't say it, you only keeping to yourself, and you are doing that, and I think that's maybe not healthy enough. And also we talk about this, which is very useful for all of us. And we know that we pick a lot of information there. I've used this today to read out names and to read information, kind of a thing. Of course, many of you are getting this too because we are sharing it. So it's very important. However, it's not supposed to take us out of our family. I think that's what I'm hearing here. Not supposed to take us away. That when you get information, which is good, come to the family and do what? and share. And of course, the husband and wife and even the children should have a time. We should not be buried to all this all the time. And that's why you see that we go to the restaurant sometimes. Father is busy on phone. Mother is busy on phone. Each of the children, they are also busy. They are not communicating. I went to one restaurant in the US and they have to say, here, no phone. No phone. And I've been to a couple of friends together with some friends, so they will tell you, this is our time. So put that thing off. Let us talk. We are here to interact. So sisters, what do you have to tell our viewers before we close?
In my own opinion, I want to say to the viewers that the use of phone is good, but it needs to be used in an appropriate way, where everybody is communicated to while with the phone. When you want to really interact and rest with the family, you don't actually need phone. You need to put phone aside and then interact like humans. And that's where you really know how each person is feeling and feeling in that particular family. And it's also applied to religious communities. Yes.
Okay, just to add on. Yes, so just to add on that, what I can tell the viewers is that in our families, let's have very, very open communication with each other, free, where people are able to air out their ideas. And if we have to use any social media, we can use it. And when we get something that is very amusing, is funny, we can share with each other, with other members of the family, and laugh about it. Yeah, if I have something very interesting in my phone, we can share and show father, show mother, show one of the brother, laugh about it, and that is where bonding begins from. So let's have communication that is free, that is open, and free from fear. And this is what can build our families today.
Free from
Thank you.
fear.
Free
That's
from
a
fear.
powerful one.
Yes.
Well, just to add to what the sisters, my fellow sister doctors have shared, the family is supposed to be a home. And a home is where you feel free and can trust. So it's like, let the parents make their children their friends. They are very good friends. So they will feel free to share with them anything. So then they will help them build up their morals. And the basis of this sharing is listening. Listening with, not just listening to, listening with, so that you can decipher what was not even spoken. You pick up where this person is going, and then it will help. And then that's when they can understand when the person wants to crack joke, they're afraid to say it, but because you say this is what it is, I come out with it and will help you with it. And the joy and the laughter and the sharing of pain will be there, but they will share it with you and help you to carry on.
Thank you, Dr. Aris. Thank you very much. Sister Dr. Ann Lucy, Sister Dr. Elizabeth Ngozi, Sister Dr. Mary, thank you very much for coming to Capuchin TV and for sharing your wealth of knowledge with our viewers. Again, this is Capuchin TV, and in this program, taking care of your psycho-spiritual wellness. My name is Joseph Segujobi. Again, this program runs every Thursday from 2:30 to 3:30 p.m. 3 p.m. Eastern African time. And of course, please do share this, share the links, share the program, or like it, or what we call it, subscribe even to this the program. If you are enjoying it, please share with others as well. Also, I just want to inform you briefly, we'll be getting to know that more on next week, that on the 9th of October, there will be couple retreat taking place at the IHM Psycho-Spiritual Counseling Center on Tandala Road. We'll be showing you better about the program. So if you want to have any information about that, you can call this number 073-913-7728. 073-913-7728. Once again, thank you, sisters. Thank you, viewers. And thank you for our communication crew. God bless you all.
Thank you.